Welcome to Thinking is Contagious. Good morning. I want to switch a little bit of the focus, at least initially. I want to go into these hearings that are being had regarding Russia and recently with the FBI official McCabe and how it reflects on Director Comey, acting director McCabe. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to any of the hearings, but one thing is very evident, and I think you see it in McCabe. McCabe is running for cover. He's trying to protect himself against criminal prosecution. It's quite obvious that he knows they've been caught. And what he's saying is, yes, we were incompetent. We were irresponsible. We were all these things, but we never had bad intentions. And that is, to me, the core of what McCabe is out there to try to do for not only himself, but for Comey. And as it goes up the ladder, including Biden, including Obama, including all of them, that there was no, McCabe keeps insisting there was no bad intentions. Well, guess what? You ruined the life temporarily. You ruined, because he's going to come out of it okay, but General Flynn, they absolutely railroaded him, made everything up, and forced the guy to confess to something that he didn't do because they were threatening that his son and his wife were next in line. They were going to go after them. And this guy was willing to fall on the sword to protect his family, which we can all identify with. The FBI, the upper crust of the FBI, there can be no doubt, if you listen to any of these hearings, the upper crust of the FBI was corrupt under Comey. Comey was corrupt. McCabe was corrupt. Strzok was corrupt. They were focused and aimed on working for Trump not to be elected president, and if he were elected president, to lay the groundwork to have Trump impeached and overturn the election. There can be no doubt. I don't care how liberal you are. I don't care how pro Hillary Clinton you are, how pro-Biden you are, how pro-Obama you are. There can be no doubt, after listening to the testimony, the words that come out of McCabe's mouth of the corruption. And I ask you, the liberals of this world, are you okay with this? Are you okay with what has happened? What they did to General Flynn? What they did to Donald Trump, because the declassified information that has come out makes it completely 100% irrefutable that there was nothing there with the Russia probe. There was nothing there that tied into Trump. Makes it unquestionable the fact that they knew, the FBI knew that the dossier was fake, created at a bar, and it was all made up. That FBI official Strzok, who came out and said they have an insurance policy in the event that Trump gets elected. That FBI agent Strzok saying that we cannot allow Trump to be elected. People, there has to be consequences to what happened. This was a railroading. This was a setup. This shows you what's going on in America at this point. And it carries over, as we've said in a couple of previous programs, to the way that you see the media. These are supposed to be professionals in the media. The way they speak about Donald Trump, the hatred, the vitriol, the way that they just They despise the man. No one, you don't hear on you don't hear on conservative news stations, centrist news stations, you don't hear these violent, vicious attacks. An obese turtle turned over on its shell, struggling in the sun to turn back upright itself. You don't see the celebrations that you see on MSNBC when the belief is that Trump lost the election, the elation. You don't see the personal attacks. The left is hate. I laugh when I walk by these signs that say peace and love and Biden, Harris. The left is hate. The left's actions are hate. Black Lives Matter is hate. It's racism. It's terrorism. Antifa is hate. AOC is hate. It's anti-American hate. Understand this. What the left believes that they have put into office in the Harris-Biden administration as being healing and bringing the nation back together, you're wrong. You are wrong. What you've done is continue the divide. This wedge was driven in when Obama was elected president in 2008. And I have told repeatedly on this program why this happened. The worst thing that ever happened to race relations in this country was Barack Obama being elected president. And I'll tell you why. And I've told you why. And I will repeat why. Because it drove a wedge between those people that need there to be a racism, a race card that they can draw upon. They need that race card in order to survive. They need that race card in order to be relevant. They need that race card in order to derive a living. And I'm talking about the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons. And I'm talking about your liberal politicians who would be irrelevant without being able to draw upon the race card. And when Barack Obama was elected president of a predominantly white nation, suddenly they panicked. They panicked and they said, you know what? We cannot claim racism anymore. What are we going to do? How are we going to feed our families? How are we going to stay relevant and powerful? How are we going to be prominent? We need to step up the racism. We need to step up civil strife. We need to step up confrontation. That is what has happened here. And this is a manifestation of it. They've caught on with the millennials, some of the Z generation, the ignorance on which their political views have been sculpted. And notice ignorance. I'm not calling anyone dumb or stupid. Ignorance, lack of knowledge in a particular, they have been indoctrinated, these guys. Many of the millennials, most of the Z generation, indoctrinated under a system that only finds fault with what is America. And I challenge anyone that's listening to this to tell me where this is not correct. This is precisely what is happening in this country. And it's playing itself out on the streets of this country. The left has found a crack in the wall, in the dam, and they're trying to make it a structural event that will cause a collapse. And it's only for one reason and one reason only. It is to gain control, stay relevant, and exert their influence to take this nation in the direction that they choose. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's naive, it's dumb to think that you're going to get socialism in America. They said the same thing. They've said the same thing in Cuba, communism. They said the same thing in Venezuela. Check out Venezuela today. Venezuela 20 years ago was a rich, prospering, oil-rich country. Check out Venezuela today. You think that what happened to us during the pandemic, you couldn't get toilet paper? Magnify that by 50 times. That's Venezuela today. Not just for toilet paper. That's for everything. People stand in line for 3 days to get gasoline from a country that was once one of the biggest oil providers of the world. There's no food. Okay? And all of it under the guise of progressive socialism, progressive society. People, you may think that could never happen in America. And that's exactly what the socialists want you to think. It'll never happen in America. So little by little, they can make it happen. And they are in the process of trying to make it happen. Obviously, the biggest obstacle that exists to this is the fact that the American people are inherently against socialism. It's a capitalist nation. It will take a long time for them to be successful. But inroads are being made as we speak. And the biggest inroad is in public education. The kids are being indoctrinated. That's why when you vote in a Harris-Biden ticket, and one of the first mandates is absolutely take away the thought, any way, shape, or thought of school vouchers, it is the control of tomorrow's leaders, workers, industry leaders. It is their control, it's the manipulation to take them towards the objective. If you really want to improve the lot of minorities in this country, if you really want to improve the lot of not just minorities, lower socioeconomic level people of all race, religions, colors, creeds, whatever you want, educate them. Afford them educational choices. And that is the first thing, actually the second thing, that the Democrats want to take away. The first thing they want to take away is your gun rights. Then they want to take away your education rights. It's a tie with education and with freedom of speech. Because to a liberal, freedom of speech is embraced if what you're saying falls in line with the liberal thought process. If it doesn't fall in line with the liberal thought process, you're a racist, a misogynist, a xenophobe, ignorant. We need to understand this, and I ask you to pay a little bit of attention. A little bit of attention, and go look at McCabe, former acting director McCabe's testimony, and see how he is desperately trying to keep himself out of prison. And if you can't see that in that testimony, and then extrapolate that into realizing that that is the same basis for the attack on Donald Trump for 4 years, we have a problem. And that problem is exactly what I've just talked about in this program. In closing, I thank you for your time. I ask you to spread this. I ask you to share this. I ask you to subscribe. Let's get a lot of people behind this. I've been verbal about boycotting Facebook, boycotting Twitter. I'm on neither one. I haven't been on Facebook for a long time. As I said, I did divest all my Facebook holdings. And I think I have opened a Parler account, and this YouTube channel may very well soon become a Rumble channel. I'm going to be working and looking into that. We're 71 million plus strong. Make a statement. Make a statement. Drop Facebook. Let's start there. Drop Facebook. You have no idea the power that we have, 71 million strong. Drop Facebook. You will get a reaction. The world will give you a reaction. Drop Facebook. Thank you.